let's back up. I've always been a voracious reader. Just read, 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 read. I remember actually getting grounded from reading.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited. Tonight I'm going to be interviewing Aspen Hadley, who has written a really fun book called Class Act, and I know you're going to love hearing about it. If you leave a comment or ask a question in the comment section below, you'll automatically be entered to win a copy of Class Act by Aspen Hadley. I know you'll want to try for that one. Also, go to my website, jenniferbeckstrand.com, and sign up for my email newsletter because you will be able to download a free contemporary sweet romantic comedy called Dandelion Meadows Christmas Kisses, and I know you're going to love it. Now, I'm really, really excited to introduce Aspen Hadley. Aspen, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, I am excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I just really appreciate meeting new authors, and I'm always really happy when people say yes, that they want to come on to the
Yeah, and I'm never going to say no to hanging out with book lovers. So yeah, yeah.
I love that. Well, so tell us about yourself and your books.
Okay, so I am a mom of 4 kids. My oldest is 20, my youngest is 12, and I was a stay-at-home mom always. I still kind of consider myself a stay-at-home mom with a hobby for writing that has accidentally turned into a career. I now accidentally own a business.
Right.
I started writing, let's back up. I've always been a voracious reader. Just read, 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 read. I remember actually getting grounded from reading as a kid because it would be like Saturday morning chore time, for example, and I was nowhere to be found. And I had been assigned certain things and they had been calling my name and I was just in my room, my dad would come in, okay, you're grounded until, Monday morning or whatever. You've got to get your chores done and this. I'd be so disappointed, but that's how much I read. I would get actually grounded from reading. Not a lot, but occasionally.
Occasionally.
In 8th grade, I wrote my first romance novel on lined paper, put it in a little 3-ring binder, handwritten, because at that age, we didn't have like computers and stuff. You weren't, okay, they existed. I was not using a computer at that age. And I would kill to find that. I keep wondering if my parents have it in their attic somewhere. Then I started blogging when blogging was big. And then I was just like, you know what? When my youngest was in preschool, I was like, I'm going to just try to write a book. I think it'd be really fun. So I ended up publishing that first book when he was it was in 2018. And he's a 6th grader now, so maybe 1st grade. I'm not going to do the math because I'm a writer, not a math person. So 2018, my first book came out. I did my first 6 books with a publisher. And then in January of 23, now I can't remember, 22 or 23, they decided they were no longer going to publish any fiction at all. So they just contacted, all of us fiction writers and said, fulfill your last contract with us and then goodbye.
Okay.
Okay. So I had to decide what I wanted to do. So I decided to try independently publishing. And so I've been doing that since then. And I have 4 books out and I'm writing a 5th one in a series. And that's kind of my author journey. So here I am just owning this little independent publishing situation and writing books.
Oh, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, so what made you decide to, did you write a book and then send it off to this publisher and say, hey, do you guys
Yes.
want this? That's what you did?
So I wrote a book and then my husband was like, you need to have it published. That's been like a lifelong dream of yours. And I was like, yep, it's a cute dream, but I'm terrified. So no thanks. I think all of us authors do that, right? You sit on a book for a little while you work up your courage to try to publish it. So I sent it to a couple publishers and then I remember where I was standing when I got the phone call saying they were going to publish. I was standing at my kitchen table folding laundry. Stay-at-home mom. I was by myself. Everyone was at school and work. And they call, and I was totally cool on the phone. Thank you so much. I hang up and I ran around the kitchen table, jumping and screaming. I was so excited. So excited, because that's been a dream. I mean, as a reader, that's been a dream forever. So that was so exciting. Just loved it.
Yes, that is such a wonderful, wonderful moment in your life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny, my first book, it took me 16 years to write, and I went to this writers conference and pitched it to an editor.
Yeah.
The very first thing. I still have to say that was probably one of the top 5 most terrifying moments
my
of
gosh.
my life. I mean,
Yeah.
terrifying.
Terrifying.
Anyway, so yeah, that's so great.
Yeah.
Well, I had an agent interested in my book, and on my birthday, she called and said, "I want to get you," and it was like,
no way. That's the best day ever.
It's so great.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that.
Well, so tell us about this book that we're talking about today.
Okay, so I grabbed it off my shelf. This is Class Act.
Love the cover.
I thought we'd talk about this one because it's the first book in the series.
Okay.
And they're interconnected enough that it's nice to kind of read the series in order. I mean, you can go out of order, but you'll be like, I don't know who she's talking about in the little mentions of friends. So my mom is a school teacher, and I have worked in elementary schools off and on as I've been raising my kids, just little stints here and there. And I thought, oh my gosh, it would be so fun. So one of those, it was in the office, which is where you hear like the teachers come between classes and they share the little, anecdotes, and you hear all the little funny things that happen at elementary schools. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to write a series about 5 elementary school teachers. They're all single in their 30s.
Oh, I love that.
And it has been so fun to use some of the like true tales from school and stuff like that. So this first one, she's a single school teacher. He is a single dad of 2 kids. She is teaching his daughter, and the daughter just can't stop talking about her dad and how wonderful he is. And so the mom's like, well, I'm going to Google him, because isn't that what we do? We like look someone up. I do that all the time.
That's how I found you. I just need to know.
We Google people. And so she does, and finds out that he's like, she finds him very attractive and interesting. And so she just kind of starts paying attention to him online and creating this little, like, he's so cute, fan club of 1, doesn't tell anyone else she's done this, and then she ends up meeting him in person, and he is not who she had built him up to be in her mind. And they kind of clash a little bit, and then they warm up to each other over a series of very delightful events. And it was so fun to write. I've loved this.
I love that. What a cute idea. And the cover's darling, but I'm sure it's just a delightful book. How fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Really fun to write. I love the comedy aspect of writing romantic comedies. So fun.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love making people laugh.
Yes. Yeah, because reading, for me, there's, informational reading and gathering of facts and things like that. But for me, most of the time reading is my escape. And I'm like, I just want to laugh and feel light and happy, and then put the book down, and then I can go back to real life.
Yep, I agree. Okay, I'm just curious. This is a way side note. When you were in, those middle grade ages, did you have a favorite book or a favorite author?
You know who I loved, who got me onto, oh, this is going to show my age big time, who got me into like romance stuff, was Dorothy Keddington. She wrote this book called Jayhawk. It's one word. It's the name of the main man character.
Okay.
And it kind of is like a mystery romance. Like this couple kind of comes together trying to solve a mystery. Anyway, but it was the first thing I had really read that had some romance in it. And I was like, oh, I like this.
Love this
a lot. So I read a lot of her things because she has a little bit of mystery with romance in it, and that was big to me. So Dorothy Keddington, she does not publish anymore. Her book covers are super 80s, like
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
I'll
Liked her. Big fan.
Well, when I was early teen, my mom had these Kathleen Woodiwiss books on the bookshelf, and my sister still says, I can't believe she had those on the bookshelf. But I read one, really steamy.
Yeah.
Just the romance
I
just
know.
grabbed me. I thought, oh yeah, I want to
It
write.
calls to you. It
Yeah.
sucks you in. Yeah.
It does. It really
Yeah.
does. Well, okay. So do you have a quote or a thought that you would want to share with?
Okay, I'm gonna grab it because it's actually my screensaver on my phone so
Oh,
that I
fun.
don't get it wrong. Okay. I saw this somewhere the other day. There's no one to attribute it to. It was just on, oh, sorry, I bumped my computer. It was just online somewhere, but I loved it so much. It says, brave birds still fly through fog. Brave birds still fly through fog. And I love that because I'm like, life is foggy. Life is foggy. And brave birds keep flying anyway. And so I put that on my phone screensaver and I'm just like, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm a brave bird and I'm going to fly through the fog and I'm going to figure it out. So that's kind of my mantra this year. Just been thinking about that a lot.
Okay, so last question.
Okay.
You're stuck on a desert island. What three things would you take with you?
Okay, so I'm not going with survival stuff.
Okay.
Because this is a game, so I can play it however I want.
That's exactly right.
I would love to have a notebook and like a magic pen. So we're going magic. A magic notebook that never runs out of pages and a magic pen that never runs out of ink. So that I could like write down my thoughts as I'm sitting there, or as story ideas bubble up, or journal, or whatever I wanted that I could get down on paper to not forget it. So that, when you get rescued, you can take all that with you.
Yes. You are a woman after my own heart because that is absolutely the first thing I would bring.
Yeah. Just something that I could document it, or, as authors, you constantly have story ideas, just to document that, I think would be really cool.
Love that.
I would probably need a soda fountain. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're going Magic Island. Just something I could just casually sip on while I'm taking in the view. And probably fuzzy socks because I can't stand cold feet. Nothing helpful. Nothing helpful at all.
I'm wearing fuzzy socks.
Yes, I call them foot blankets. My husband's always like, go get your foot blankets.
Oh my heck, we're twins, except that I do not like soda. I drink almost exclusively water.
Water? I drink almost exclusively water too, but it's like 3 days a week. I'm like, it's time to treat yourself. You've been a brave bird flying through the fog. And so on that island, I would have to be like, you've been brave. Let's go get your soda.
Oh, my husband, he goes to Fizz at least 4 days a week.
Yeah. I live with people. Yeah. I'm always like, have you had water today, guys? They'll be like, I have a headache. I'm like, have you tried water? That might. That's an idea.
So great. Aspen, it has been such a delight talking to you.
Thank you.
Readers, please go check out Class Act. It sounds amazing, and I'm so glad you got to talk about it and tell us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.